In this video, we're going to be working on an Asus laptop that came in for no power. This one is model G531G. And we had somebody in the comments that predicted we're going to be getting a lot of those Asus laptops because we fixed 2 of them last week. And he's right. We have about 12 of those laptops in the store right now. We're going to be working on this one to see what's going on. We already disassembled the board. But first, let's take a look and see what the customer wrote about this laptop, what the issue is. Laptop does not boot. Battery is good. I had someone look at it and they said it was a bad MOSFET in the power delivery line. The person just told him it's a bad MOSFET, but they did not change that MOSFET. Maybe they do not do micro soldering. But from my experience, a bad MOSFET on an Asus laptop is not very common. It's usually something shorting out that MOSFET. Let's go ahead and take a look at the motherboard and see what's going on. Usually on Asus laptops, the power connector is placed here or here, but on this motherboard, the power connector is right there. So the first thing I want to do is look at the power MOSFETs, and I do not see that they are on this side of the board, so they have to be on back side of the board, right here. Let's take a look at those MOSFETs and see what's going on. Oh, look at this. Prior repair attempt. So probably the person who told him they have a bad MOSFET, they already attempted to work on this laptop. God knows what else is wrong with this board. Let's go over those MOSFETs one more time and straighten out those capacitors. Right, so this MOSFET is good and the other one looks good too. So for now we're going to assume that those MOSFETs are good. So now that this area is taken care of, we're going to have to measure. We're going to have to do some measurements. Meter in diode mode. And let's check to see if we have a short anywhere on the board. We do not have a short anywhere here. And we have a short right here. We do have a short. Just checking if drain is shorted to source. It's not. To gate. No. And no. What about this one? And no. So the MOSFETs are most likely good, but we do have a short on the board. And let's test one more time. We do have a short right here. So we're going to consider this board repaired. We're going to consider this board fixed as long as we do not have a problem with the CPU. Then most likely it's a fix. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to inject voltage, 1.2 volts, using our voltage injection tool. I did mention that this tool is currently on back order. We are expecting to get this in maybe after a week. The item is out of stock from the factory. They said that they are out of stock because of one missing chip that they are trying to get, but they promised that they will ship us 26 units right now, and after 1 month they will ship us 80 units. I did post the option on the website for people to be able to back order so they can secure one. So right now we have a few of them left. And make sure if you did log in and back order this item, it will not ship to you until we have it in stock, because we had a person that did a back order on an item, and we do mention that the item is on back order. We will ship it to you as soon as we have it in. We do not do this on all items, but only on specific items, on hard to get specific items. We want people to be able to secure that specific item. Like this one is hard to get right now. So I want people to be able to secure one if they want to back order it. The guy filed a PayPal dispute after a few days saying that he did not receive the item and he's afraid that we're gonna take his money. The order is only like $60. I give him back his money and blacklisted the person. He cannot order from us anymore. We clearly state that that item is on back order. If you want to file the dispute because you did not get your item where we clearly mention that that item is on back order, then we do not want you as a customer. We refunded the customer and bye-bye. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna inject. I have my current injection tool at 1.10 volts, and we're gonna inject voltage on the shorted side of the MOSFET right here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna monitor the board under the thermal cam to see what gets hot, just like we did on the previous two Asus laptops. Let's turn the thermal camera on, and maybe we can turn the fume extractor off. Okay, so maybe we should go to our thermal camera. And today I changed the theme of the thermal camera. Now it's blue and yellow. We can also do it as gray, so we only see light and dark. That's useful sometimes. We can also do iron, and that's what I had it on, I think. Let me see. I think that's what I had it on before. We have lava. Actually, I had it on lava before. We have rainbow. Rainbow is not bad, actually. Let's check. I never had to choose a different layout. Let's see how this one works. We're gonna inject voltage on the shorted MOSFET. And where is that shorted MOSFET? Right here. And the voltage injection tool is drawing 3.5 amps. But right now I do not see anything hot on the board. Or maybe I'm not used to this layout. Let me change back to lava. I do not want to experiment with the patterns right now. I'm used to this one. Okay, so right now the voltage injection tool is drawing 3.5 amps, but I do not see anything hot on the board, and my hand is not blocking anything on the board. It could be that our short is on back of the board, and because this board is thick, maybe we're not seeing it under the thermal cam. I think I'm gonna ask Big Boss to hold the thermal camera so I can inject voltage and flip the board, because right now, unfortunately, I do not have 3 hands, so I have to work with 2. Just a minute. Khal? What if I can do it with 2 hands? I'll inject voltage right on this MOSFET and flip the board. Oh, right there, right there, right there, right there. We got it. Right over here. Oh. So what I'm going to do is inject voltage onto that board while holding the probe, and I'm going to flip the board and look at it under the thermal camera. That way we can do the job using 2 hands. So let's see how that will go. So I'm going to inject voltage at the MOSFET and flip that board at the same time and quickly take a peek on back of the board. Right there. Right there. So it's right over here. I put my thumb over it and let's take a look. What's going on back of the board? Right there. That's the component that is getting hot. We are getting heat in this area. And most likely this component, this capacitor. Most likely this capacitor. Let me just put the thermal camera away. Turn it off. And the first thing I want to do is measure if we have a short on this capacitor. I'm almost 99.9% sure that the problem is this cap, because that's where heat was coming from. So meter in diode mode. And yes, that's it. That's the problem. That's the problem. Laptop is fixed. I told you consider this laptop fixed. How many of you did not believe me? If you are a watcher of the channel and I say consider this job done, it has to be done. I can be wrong, of course, but chances are we're going to fix this laptop. So we're going to use our hot tweezers along with hot air, because that's a big cap. And why don't we look at the screen while I'm desoldering this component? Okay, and out. Let's leave it on the side for now. And see, do we still have a short? And the short is gone. Short's gone. Job is done. So let's save the world from complaints and replace that capacitor. And we're going to use some Amtech 559 Flux. So let's go ahead and solder a new cap here. But before we do so, let's go ahead and prep the pads, and that's why I applied the Flux, so we can add solder onto those pads. And the job is done. And the capacitor is most definitely better than factory. I mean, it has to be better than factory because the factory one was not working. So that's it. I'm going to give this to Big Boss to reassemble and test, and I'll be back. All right, so Big Boss reassembled the laptop. I plugged the charging cable, and I can tell you one thing. Big Boss already tried the laptop, and it's working. But let's go ahead and do it on video. Plug the charging cable, and it goes from the back and right there. Awesome. Laptop is fixed. How difficult this repair would have been if it wasn't for the voltage injection tool and the thermal cam. Priceless tools. So that's it. We're going to end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.